Hey y'all, welcome to my page. My name is Alexandria. I am a registered nurse and a freelance health content writer, and I'm going to be talking today about the art of pitching. And this is specific to freelance writing from the perspective of a healthcare professional like myself. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to this channel. I created it to help other nurses and healthcare professionals who don't know about freelance writing just how easy it is to get started in this business and hopefully help you along the way. So today I'm going to be talking about pitching and pitching to clients. It's not the easiest thing I've ever done, but it does come with some practice and some preparation. And really what pitching is an opportunity for you as the freelance writer to get a story, that get an assignment that you'll get paid for. And it's really exciting because you say, yay, pitching. Like, pitching means potentially getting paid, and having paid assignments. And paid assignments are obviously awesome. But I do recommend that you definitely send a letter of introduction first. If you have questions about that, I have a video that talks all about how to send a letter of introduction and when. And then after you have introduced yourself and you've gotten some sort of response from the editor or potential client, then it may be a good time for you to send a pitch. So a pitch is an idea for a story that you have that you want to promote on a potential client's website or platform. And there are so many places to write for. So I highly encourage you to spend some time kind of really getting to know yourself as a writer and the type of content that you want to write, and then also start thinking about where you want that content to be. There are a lot of consumer platforms out there. There are a lot of businesses out there that are writing content for different people at different stages of their life. And it's easy to get kind of lost in, where to go. And that will be heavily dependent on you as the freelance writer, because you are the only one who knows your experiences and your intentions when it comes to freelance writing. So let's get started with how to pitch. A pitch is quite similar, I think, to a letter of introduction. It's gonna go in message form or email form. So the structure will be a little bit on the loose side. I've also found myself pitching in, a LinkedIn comment that I sent to someone who was actively looking for writers. So the format, it is pretty similar, and the length, that's the word I was trying to come up with. The length of a pitch can vary based on where and how you're sending your pitch. Sometimes you'll end up pitching a story and you don't even realize that you're pitching. But I want to give you guys some tips and feedback, or tips and tricks on how to structure the everyday pitch, especially for someone who you're sending a message or an email to and you're not super duper familiar with them, or they're not super familiar with you. So with most pitches, comes choosing the right topic first. And this is really important because the more you spend time with yourself and getting to know who you are as a freelance writer, you're going to find yourself in a space where you want to write more and more about what's important to you. So make sure that you find a topic that either you're well versed in or that you don't mind spending time on the front end researching, so that you show up as much of an authoritative figure on the topic as possible. Okay. So then after you've chosen your topic, I highly recommend that you know who your potential client is. I have definitely pitched to clients that I've gotten, successful pitching opportunities out of and successful assignments out of. and I'll send them another 3 or 4 pitches and they don't want any of them. And this has nothing to do with my pitching skill set necessarily. It may be that the story just doesn't match up with that particular platform and their mission and values. It could be timing in terms of, budgeting. It could be timing in terms of, we've decided to start this whole blog or focus our attention on one specific topic, and this doesn't seem like your pitch really kind of fits in with that, so we're gonna pass. Those are all very common very common responses. I want to say, if you are in a space where you need to pitch, because not everybody has to pitch, believe it or not, sometimes you fall into assignments. If you are in a space though where you have to pitch, I would say don't be afraid of it, don't run from it, learn from it, grow from it, and the rest will fall into place. So after you have identified your potential client and whether or not it's the right time, now's a good time for you to start crafting that subject line title. So you want that title to be something that is related to the story, something that's eye-catching, something that makes the potential reader want to open the message, okay? And then after you have your title, you start with a lead statement. So this is something that is really kind of the hook for the reader. Sometimes it's a statistic, sometimes it's, something that's really graphic that's happened, something that really grabs people. So for an example, when we're talking about the nursing shortage, that's a really big topic that, yeah, has a lot of layers to it. So you might start with, a statistics about the number of entry-level master's programs that have closed in the last few years and how that may influence the number of new graduate nurses coming out within the next 5 years, that, how that might influence patient care or something that really kind of hooks the reader and says, oh, this is a really interesting topic. Let me find out more. I want to read more. Next is the nut graph. So this is that introductory paragraph. Sometimes it's, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences about the actual topic. So if I were to go on the story about entry-level nursing programs that have shut down, I might have a paragraph that talks about why, or that talks about the local nursing program that has all of a sudden closed and the potential burden that will have on bedside nurses in that particular community. Something that really kind of continues to draw that person in and says, this is worth my time reading. I'm really interested. Okay. The next section, you'll want to garner some interest in the story by really highlighting that significance. So again, going back to impact that the editor or the potential client may find within themselves as they're reading this story. And if you're really good at it, sometimes you don't even need to spend a lot of time highlighting the significance. Sometimes just the opening statement, the lead statement, and the nut graph do the work for you to tell people that this is really important because it hits home. The next thing you'll want to do in your pitch is really kind of outline the article itself. And this shows the editor or the potential client that you have put time into really crafting out exactly how you anticipate this story looking. You might include on there whether or not you're going to have subject matter experts that you're going to interview. You might include in there, where you're getting your data and where you intend for this story to, how you intend for this story to end, whether it's with a call to action or it's with some type of closing piece on something that is important and has, future implications, things that you hope for the future to advance the topic or to mitigate the problem, if depending on what the article is about. And then lastly, you want to invite the editor to discuss the topic more with you. So this is just in case, some part of the pitch doesn't really pull the editor in. You might suggest, hey, let's discuss this in the next few days, or I have time to talk at this day and time. Are you available? Something that really kind of like a call to action, something that gives them an opportunity to respond and really puts the ball in their court to be active. Now, I want to say that people will often ask or will start to think about, when is the right time to follow up with an editor or with a potential client? And this is why I said earlier, it's really important that after you choose the right topic, you make sure that you are choosing the right home for the pitch and for the article. If you pitch to an editor or a client who you've never met, or who you've never, gotten beyond one email response, pitching might be a little bit tougher to secure a writing assignment. And again, that has nothing to do with you. It just means that it might be the right pitch, but the wrong time. And so when you're trying to figure out, when do I follow up with this person, really think about a couple of things like, how timely is this piece? Is this piece something that's like late breaking news that is going to be, no big deal in a couple of weeks? Or is this something that is more of a feature article that can be written really kind of at any time, doesn't really have a hard deadline? And then again, you also want to think when you're asking yourself about follow-up, do I know this editor? Do I know this client? Have I seen them put out anywhere publicly that they are actively looking for freelance writers? That can oftentimes be a heavy indicator on whether or not you're going to get a response, because people who are, very focused on getting freelance writers, they're going to respond. They are looking for you and they are just waiting for you to get in their inbox. So that's all I have on pitching for today. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe to this channel and I will see you next time.